So as I said, we're going to be looking at balancing out after Easter this week. So we're going to be looking at balance from a slightly different perspective. So the first thing we're going to look at is all the things that help you to balance. So it might seem a bit weird to start with, but we're actually going to start with a hip opener. So I want you to sit your brick and you're going to be in semi-supine, but you're going to support your left leg with the brick. So your right leg is going to stay in semi-supine, but your left leg is going to be supported by the brick. Now that might seem, yeah, that sounds okay. What I want you to think about is, are you grounding fully with your right leg? So are you reaching into the floor with your right foot? But also, are the hips level? And if the hips are not level, chances are your left hip is going to be down from your right hip. Then I want you to support the leg more so that your left hip is the same balance, is the same level as your right hip. So I want you to check that out whilst you're investigating this posture. Obviously, you'll be sliding the shoulder blades down the back, turning the arms in the shoulder joints, arms facing upwards, but keeping this sense of balancing off with the pelvis. So I'm going to take that a little bit deeper. So I want you to slide that left leg off the brick, take a hold of your left foot with your right hand, and just bring your left hand outside of the left leg so that you can do a few of the rock the baby positions. Now when you're doing this, the next position to start to think about is the position of your head, neck and shoulders. So are you being tempted to tip the chin up to the sky? And if that's the case, maybe you want to put something to support your head. Once you've done another couple of these rock the babies, slide the left ankle outside of the front of the right thigh so that you're picking the right foot off the floor, holding around the right thigh, and then as you inhale, take that right heel to the ceiling, flexing into the foot, and as you exhale, bend the right knee and point the toes. So do that a few times. Really connecting into the hip, into the pelvis. Are the hips still level? Can you keep that level pelvis? Good. Okay, from there, you're going to pop that right foot to the floor. You're going to slide the left foot onto the right thigh. And from this position, we're going to take it into osteopath twist. We're going to do 2 osteopath twists tonight. This is the first one. Left arm reaches out to the side. You're guiding the left leg across the body. Remember, you can dig into that right foot, so you've got that lovely twist into the middle part of the body and the tucking under of the right hip. And then from there, you're just going to do some moving quad movements. So you're going to extend that left arm more to a V shape. And as you exhale, you're going to drizzle the arm along the floor at the same time as drizzling the foot towards the left hand. And you might be able to touch it, you might not. You're going to do it 3 times. 3 lots of drizzling just to get into that quad. You can reach for the foot and it's still easy. Reach for the ankle. One last time. And then from there, releasing out fully. As you roll onto your back, come back into semi-supine, and we'll do all of those things on the right. So I'm just going to turn around so that you can see me. So here we are, semi-supine position. You're going to stay connected to your left leg, but you're going to open this right leg. So you may feel, oh, I can open it really wide, but check out the pelvis. So when we do a balance, if the pelvis is off center, that can often, be the prompt that makes you fall over. So I want you to set your hands on your hip bones, keep the back flat on the floor so that you're connecting with that left foot, and then support the right leg. So that you've got that sense of level pelvis. I'm still on the little toe side of my right foot. I'm then going to just take a little bit of attention to my head. I'm lengthening out of my neck, my chin moving to the back of the throat. So these are all areas that can make you feel a little bit wobbly when you're actually doing a balance standing. It's not so bad where we are now because we're very close to the floor. But when you're standing, it's worth checking these things out. Just take a couple of breaths here, just drawing the attention to the breath. Noticing how you feel tonight, how that connection feels. And then from there, you're going to pick up the right leg, take a hold of the right foot with the left hand, bring your right hand to the outside of your right knee, and then take your lovely rock the baby positions. See if you can keep that right foot somewhere in line with the right knee. That's it, really nice. Now you know what's coming next. So this time, as you take the right foot over to the left, you can physically lift the left foot off the floor and bring the front of the thigh to the outside of the ankle. And then as you inhale, you can extend that left heel to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bend the knee, point the toes. So just take a few more of those little warm-ups for the hamstrings. You won't need too much warming up tonight, I'm guessing. And then the next time you bend the knee, point the left toes, just slide that left leg out along the floor, popping your right foot onto the left thigh. So you're going into osteopath here. Right arm moves out to the side, and as you exhale, you're going to turn and twist to the left. You could always use your brick to touch your foot, your left foot, when you do these quad stretches. So I'm going to take my right arm into a V shape. As I exhale, I'm still in the twist. I'm going to bring my right fingertips down to touch my left foot or pick up the left ankle. And then as I inhale, I'm going to extend the arm back into V. So it's a drizzle of the right arm and the left leg or the left foot. 3 times. And then from there, we're going to move this into our second osteopath move. So we've just come out of this one, so we'll just slide onto our backs, just easing that right knee into the chest and then bringing the left knee in. Have a little rock from side to side. So this is a new move. Well, it's not. It's a combination of moves that you know. So we're going to go back to the left side, extend the right leg out. Pop that left foot back onto the right thigh, left knee in the air. Slide the left arm out in line with the armpit, keeping that shoulder blade on the floor to start with. And as you exhale, once again, you're going to turn and twist to the right. Very safe twist, this one, because you're keeping the spine long. But then you're going to add in something else. You're going to reach for your brick and you're going to pop the brick where the knee would land. So I know your knee isn't on the brick right now, it might be, but chances are it won't be. But as you release your left arm from the floor and start to roll your whole body to the right, you're going to bring your left knee to rest on the brick, and then you're going to turn your whole self onto your front. So it looks a little bit like recovery position. Your left knee is supported by the brick, your right leg is extended, and you're resting the head on your hands. Then you're going to inhale, lift the lower leg, the lower left leg and the foot into the air, and as you exhale, lower that leg down. So we've done this position before, just not in a flow from osteopath. So it's a little bit of add-on. It's a really good position for the hip, a really good position for hip mobility. So it's definitely one worth having in your toolbox. So give me another 2 lifts and lowers. Lifting on the inhale, lowering on the exhale. And then when you're done, you're going to come out of the position the way you went in. So you're going to sort of slightly stagger over to the left. And then you're going to roll all the way back onto your back, sliding the knee into the chest, Apanasana. You can give your left ankle a little circle, both directions. And then just release that left leg out to join the right. And do this so that you can, monitor what you've done, what the difference is between your left and right side. So you might find there's a softness there. There's I don't know, maybe you might even find that the left leg is slightly longer because you've affected this area of the pelvis. Okay, we're going to do all that on the other side. So I'm going to turn around so that you can see me. You're going to bring your right knee to your chest and then pop the right foot onto the left thigh. Keep the left leg extended, slide the right arm out in line with the armpit and then turn and twist to the left, tucking that left hip under. Okay, so we've done this already. You've warmed yourself up in this position. Pop the brick now where that right knee would land as you start to roll over to the left and then all the way onto your front. Resting the head on the hands, keeping the chest on the floor, making sure the left leg is extended still. And then you're keeping the right knee on the brick, but lifting the lower leg and foot. For about 6 to 8 repetitions. You keep going. I'm going to have a little look, make sure that you're all happy with that. Lovely job. And then from that position, after you've done at least 6, instead of going back onto your back, you're going to stay on your front, release the brick from underneath the knee, and slide the bottom back to the heels. So you're in extended child pose. So it's a nice release for the hips, a nice release for the back. From this position, we're going to start to bring in the shoulders. So we need to have nice relaxed shoulders for a good balance. So I'm going to turn the back of my left hand to the floor, palm facing the ceiling. And I'm going to slide the back of the left hand all the way towards my left foot. And then watch the hand as it comes up and overhead, coming onto all fours, with the left arm extended. And then repeat that movement, the back of the hand to the floor, reaching out behind, gaze at the hand as it reaches overhead and moves forward. So you're going to do 3 in one direction and then take 3 in the opposite direction. So just change direction, same movement. And then after the third movement, as you slide the arm forward, we're going to do our first balance. So slide that left arm forward. From here, tuck your right toes under and slide the right heel out behind you so the leg extends. Now, instead of kicking that right leg, see if you can reach into the right heel so that eventually the leg rises because it's got nowhere else to go and takes you into the lovely Superman position. So you're going to feel this in your glutes. If you want to, you can do another quad stretch here. So you can bend the right knee. Everybody could do that. If you want to, you can bring that left hand behind and reach for the right foot. So lots of different variations there. And then slowly ease out. Bring the right leg down. Pop the bottom back to the heels. Extend the arms forward. And repeat that on the right. So right palm turns to face the ceiling. Take the right arm towards the right foot. Gaze at the right hand and move it forward. So you're in Superman. That's it. So you're doing 3 in one direction. And then 3 in the opposite direction. So when you're ready, you can turn it the other way. Doesn't really matter, you're still getting that lovely movement into the shoulder. And on your 6th movement, you're going to take the right arm forward. You might need to slide the left hand back a little bit so it's underneath the shoulder. You're going to tuck the left toes under, and instead of kicking that left leg, you're going to keep reaching into the heel until the leg's got nowhere else to go but up. So you're extending out into the first balance of the night. And again, you can stay here. You could bend your left knee. You could even reach for your left foot with your right hand. Lots of variations on that one. Good. And then from there, easing out, bring the left knee down, place the bottom back to the heels, and with those arms extended, let's take our first down dog of the night, tucking the toes under, peeling up with that tail, having a little walk out with the dog. Spreading into the hands, letting the head and neck be released between the arms. And then from there, just dropping the knees back down again. So you're back into cat. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders as you inhale. Move that top chest forward to take you into up facing cat. And as you exhale, into angry cat. So take a couple of those lovely movements into the pelvis. Just reminding yourself of your midline. So as you take your next angry cat, lift up the lower pelvis, pubis, draw the ribcage to the midline, and then try and maintain that a little bit as you take the top chest forward. And then stay with that top chest forward, but lift into the core. So you've got a lovely flat cat. And we're going to go back to the left side again here. We're going to take the left leg into that 90-degree position, squeezing that left buttock to the midline, and then stepping the left foot where the left hand was. So you'll have to lift the left hand off the floor. Then from this position, you're going to tuck those back toes under and you're extending into runner's lunge. Popping on a little twist here. So as you turn the rib cage into the left inner thigh, lift that left elbow, keep turning into the rib cage and eventually extend that left arm up to the sky. Gazing towards the arm again. Lovely little twist. From this position, you're easing back into down dog. We're going to stay with this left side. Take the left leg into three-legged dog. Now keep that pelvis level as you bring the left knee into the chest and step, help that left foot through. But don't take it too wide. So landing that left foot a little bit back from your wrists is fine because it's our second balance and it's going to be high standing lunge. So just pop your hands into prayer position. Left foot is forward. You're on the ball of the right foot. And you're in that lovely high standing lunge. And that's it. So this is a balance because you've already forgone the whole of the back foot on the floor. So think about what we've talked about. Is your head in alignment? Are your hips in alignment? And then from this position, we're just going to do that pelvic tilt. So masculine pelvic tilt to lengthen the quad on the right side. And then that's your exhale. And then as you inhale, you're slightly pushing back with the heel. So you're exhaling, that lovely quad movement, perfect. Inhale, push back with the heel. Twice more. So you kind of move to a slight feminine as you push back with the heel. And on the second one, the next one, bring your hands back to prayer if you've not moved them. That's fine. You're going to turn and twist to the left and take the hands wide. From this position, the left arm is going to come to the back of the right thigh, the right arm alongside of the face. Now just make sure these hips stay level and they don't roll that left knee out. Lovely job. Okay, from here, you're going to do a slight cartwheel, bringing the hands either side of that left foot. Step that back to down dog. Readjust so you've got that length into the tail. Have a little walk out. And then we'll do the same on the right. So dropping the knees to the floor, you're back into cat. Take a lovely upward facing cat. And as you exhale into angry cat. Next time you come into upward facing, stay with that, but lift the belly. And then take that right leg into a 90-degree position so that you can step the right foot where the right hand was. Then you can tuck the back toes under. You're into your lovely runner's lunge. And you're twisting from here, so left fingertips on the floor. Turn and twist to the right. Right elbow lifts. And maybe you extend the right arm. Where is your head? Is it still in line with the spine? If it's not, how can you move it? Can you bring the chin to the back of the throat, the back of the neck to the back of the collar? And then as you exhale, ease that right hand down, step it back into down dog, making any adjustments with space. And then three-legged dog, right leg lifts. Now remember, you're going to step the right foot forward, but you can leave a little gap because you know that you're going to come into high standing lunge, bringing the hands into prayer position. Good, so far so good. So let's get into this quad again. So as you exhale that bit of masculine, as you inhale, press back with the heel. 3 more times. So we need to strengthen up these legs. That's the other thing that really helps with balance. Strong legs, very mobile legs. Okay, make that the last one. Take the arms wide. Sorry, turn and twist first to the right, and then take the arms wide. Then bring that right hand to the back of the left thigh, the left arm alongside of the ear, trying to keep that core connection. Thinking about your drishti point. Woohoo. And then from there, we're going to do that cartwheel, easing forward, hands either side of the right foot, and then we're going to step the left foot alongside of the right foot, folding forward as you do so. Breathing in, swoop the arms up and up to the side, palms pressed together overhead. And as you exhale, bring the hands into prayer. So before we move into our next sequence, think about your Tadasana position, your standing position. Feet hip distance apart and parallel. Little bit of turn up through the inner thighs. Pelvis level. Head in alignment. Shoulders relaxed. And just for fun, just lift the toes for me, all of them. So that will slightly bring you back into your heels. Not saying that's the better place, but that's what that will do. And then see if you can press down with the two big toes. So can you work into your inner spirals? And then maybe you can, maybe you can't. Lift the big toes, try the little toes. Can you get the little toes down? And then of course that ultimate balance is big toes and little toes and the other toes lifted in between. But really I'm just doing this so you can, in your head, be aware of really spreading into the feet, really grounding into the feet. So we are going to move into a little bit of a sun salute. So keeping that position, that sense of grounding with the feet. Slide the hands back into prayer position. Soften the knees a little bit. And as you inhale, take your lovely arms, extend them up. Exhaling, hinging forward. All the way into Uttanasana. Flatten the back. And then step the right leg back. Okay, so you're kind of in this runner's lunge on your fingertips. This is my next balance. I'm going to take my fingers forward. So imagine that your left foot is the top of a triangle and your hands are the base. So to strengthen that left leg, instead of kicking the right leg up behind, you're going to move forward with the crown of the head. So the crown of the head moves forward. The leg has no option but to be lifted, not kicked. And then as the crown of the head comes back, the leg goes down. Do that twice more. Try and concentrate on not kicking. Now up to you, on the third one, maybe you can take one or both of the hands off the floor. Perhaps bring them into a prayer position at the heart. Really strengthening that left standing leg. Woo! Okay, well done. Hands down. Right leg steps back. You're back into down dog. Oh. Get your breath back. Have a little walk out. We've got one more thing to do in shoulder wise. That's going to be melting heart. So you're going to bring the knees back down, release the feet, and then walk those arms forward. So the forehead comes to the floor if possible. If it doesn't get to the floor, don't force it. Pop your head on your brick. Keep your bottom in line with your knees. Some of you will be able to get the chin down. Remember, the aim is the chest. This is the other area. We're all guilty of slightly rounding forward. So we need these movements to really open up the chest. So in this one, I've got my arms at least shoulder distance apart. We're going to do a variation on it next time round. Bring the bottom to the heels. Pop yourself back into down dog. And then from here, we'll just walk the feet forward towards the hands, ending up in Ardha Uttanasana, full Uttanasana, and then reaching the palms and the arms up, gathering the energy around, gazing up at the thumbs, and as you exhale, slide the hands down in front of the heart. Lovely, let's do the same on the other side. Soften into the knees. Remember, you can use your glutes more if you've got soft knees. Not bent knees, soft knees. Breathing in. Take the arms out, gaze up at the thumbs, and as you exhale, you're folding forward. You're going to inhale, flatten the back. Step that left leg back. Try and keep the core connected. Try and keep the head in line with the spine. Take your fingertips forward. So you're moving into this standing split position. So from here, I'm going to move forward with the crown of my head. And as I do that, I'm going to allow that back leg to lift. And as I bring the crown of the head back, I'm going to allow the leg to lower. Okay, 2 more of those. Try not to kick. Try and make the movement come from the pelvis. And on the last one, if you feel you're grounded enough, see if you can pick up one hand or both hands from the floor. You're strengthening that standing leg. It's like a variation of Warrior 3. Breathing deeply. Well done. Step it back to down dog. Have a little walk out with your dog. And then we're going to go for that variation of melting heart. So drop the knees to the floor. Bottom in line with knees. This time, as you lower the chest down, you're actually going to cross the wrists. So I'm still doing melting heart, but instead of having my arms wide, I've got my arms internally rotated. Which feels a little bit odd to me, but yeah, it's always good to have a variation. You could try with the arms crossed in both directions or the wrists crossed in both directions. And then slide the bottom back towards the heels. Take a little breather. So we've got one more leg strengthener to do. So from this position, I'm going to rise up through kneeling, but I'm going to end up in sitting. So I'm just going to scoop my legs out to the side. And this is another leg strengthener and hip opener. I'm going to move my buttocks back so I'm sitting tall on my sit bones. Now, apparently, I was told today that quite often this is taught in Pilates. I didn't know that, but anyway. You're going to have your brick at the lowest level to start with. So you're sitting in Dandasana. What you're going to do, I mean, I found it helps me if I hold on to my hips, but you could drizzle your fingertips to the floor. You're going to see if you can lift your left leg, without rolling back over the brick and then bring it back. So you're just using that core, lifting the leg, bringing it back. If that's really accessible, by all means, turn the brick up. But you've got to be really honest with yourself. Are you rolling back? And if you are, yeah, maybe practice it against the wall. Perhaps if you're doing it later, if you're going into cramp on your quad, which you may well be. I can't hear you groaning on Zoom. Okay, just one more on the left. That's it. I mean, obviously, when you get good at this, you can have the brick at its high level. But we're going to move on to the right. I would start with the brick at its lowest. If you feel that your legs have gone into agony, give them a little wobble, give them a little rub. So again, that long, tall extension, hips, pelvis level, head level. This time it's the turn of the right. So you're going to lift right leg over the brick and then bring it back. So as I say, you can go lowest. You can take it up to middle level. Try and avoid that leaning back. That's it, you're doing good. You've got 6, so there's 3 more to go by my reckoning. If you feel you've already done 6, take a breather. And then once you've done it, give your legs that little wiggle wobble. Then give them a little clap. Well done. Okay, you're going to swing the legs back so that you can ease into down dog. And then we can walk the feet forward towards the hands. Flatten the back. Ease forward with the head and then bend in the knees. Coming up to standing through that sun salute. And as you exhale, come back into Tadasana. So we've done lots of things with the brick in the past for balance. So the first thing, you'll not be surprised, brick in between the legs. Just for you to access the inner thigh muscles. So there's a slight inward rotation of the tops of the thighs. Now, as you maintain that, release the brick and pop it on your head. This is the fun bit. Now, if you've got a block, blocks are slightly easier. So if you've got a block, you might want to use that. And then you're just going to take a few steps forward. If you want to challenge yourself, try and walk with one heel in front of the opposite toes. Rolling from the heel to the ball of the foot. Yeah, it's like the finishing school. So maybe take about 5 or 6 steps forward and then do the same thing backward. Now, what's this going to teach you? Well, it's going to teach you an element of discomfort. It's going to teach you that you probably move your head a lot, that maybe you drop your chin, because as soon as I drop my chin, the brick falls off. So I've got to try and keep my chin like on a shelf to keep this space between the base of my ears and the tops of my shoulders. Okay, so after a few steps, bring yourself back to Tadasana. Excellent. And then just remove the brick from the head And all we're going to do in very simple terms is challenge the balance again by actually standing on the brick. So all I'm going to get you to do is pop the brick to the floor, bring your right foot onto the brick, reach into the right foot until the hips are level, and then see if you can lift the left knee in front, or if that's not going to work, you could take the leg out straight. If all of these are very easy, try and close your eyes. Because that's the other thing, if you haven't got a drishti point, the balance becomes much more of a challenge. But you're really grounding into that brick. Keep breathing. Try and imagine you've still got that brick on your head. As you change over to the other side, I'm just going to have a little look at you, see if we've crashed any furniture yet. Well done. Again, if you feel you've got it nailed, close the eyes. I'll certainly bring a whole new meaning to balance. Well done. Okay, ease out. Well done. Keep the brick away just for a moment. Have a little shake with the legs. So let's think about some of our more classical balances. So the first one, classical balance, Vrikasana tree position. So once again, I'm going to keep these hips level and try and keep my chin level. I'm going to roll onto the ball of my right foot. And as I inhale, I'm just going to take that right knee to the right. And as I exhale, slide it in. So I'm literally just moving through the spiral of my legs, grounding through my left foot. Next time I take the right leg out to the side, I'm going to choose a tree. So it could be tree pose with the right toes on the floor. It could be tree pose with the right foot inside of the shin. Or it could be full tree pose, pressing that right foot into inner front thigh. And remember, if you are going to move your arms, and you can do all sorts of things with your arms, just make sure you know you're balanced. Good. So before you come out of it, you're going to cross that right foot over the left. From here, I'm going to do a little side stretch in Krishna. So left hand comes down, right palm goes up, and a side stretch over to the left. You know where I'm going to go next. I'm going to bring my arms all the way around. I'm going to bring my right arm under my left arm. Now I can either take a hold of my shoulder blades, give myself a hug, or I can bring the backs of my hands together, or I can take my right hand inside of my left hand, pointing the fingers up to the sky for eagle. And then from there, can we take eagle? So your eagle, you're balancing on your left leg. You might just choose to lift your right toes off the floor, or keep the big toe on the floor, or you could soften into your knees even more. Feel that you're moving to the midline, and wrap your right foot around the back of your left calf. Lovely eagle balance. This is not the end. We've got one more to add on to this sequence. From eagle, baby Buddha, crossing that right ankle on top of the left thigh. Whew. And then stepping out. Again, taking whatever you need to do with the legs. Excuse me for just having lots of water. So give the legs a shake out. You're doing great. How was the legs feeling? How's the glutes feeling? So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Those 3 movements. The first one is tree pose. So you're going to come onto the ball of your left foot. You're going to do that little hip opener, taking the left knee to the side and then bringing it back. I'm just going to look at you to let you know. Got some sort of awareness. Once you feel you've got that sense of activating into the inner thighs, keep the left leg out to the side. Maybe slide the foot inside the ankle, the shin, or the inner thigh. Nice. So do whatever you wish with your arms. Just be mindful that if you move your arms, you're probably going to be slightly wobbly. Try and soften the shoulders, try and lift the pelvic floor. And think about your drishti point. What are you gazing at in front of you that's not going to move? Well done. Okay, you're going to cross that left foot over the right foot. So let's take Krishna. So right hand down, left palm up, side stretch to the right. Maybe even looking into that top hand. And then undoing the arms, bringing your left arm under the right to eagle, or giving yourself a hug, or bringing the backs of the hands together. Whatever works for you. And then the same thing. So remember, you can soften a little bit more into the knees. Give yourself a decent base to be able to spread your feet. You could just come onto the tippy toes of the left leg, or you could just lift the left foot off the floor. If you want to do the full position, it's quite a challenge wrapping the left leg around the right leg. Just going to breathe through that. Make sure you give yourself enough energy to come into Baby Buddha. Woo. Excellent. And then from there, once again, bring your feet hips distance apart. Feel that you can really spread into your feet. This sense of connection. And breathe just for a few moments, just to get your breath back. We've got one more to do. We don't do it very often. Put that right. So we've done lots of quad stretches so far. So what about half dancer? So remember, on half dancer, you are taking the quad stretch. So if you're balancing on your right leg, rather than kick that left leg into the hand, so rather than do this, try and settle into your feet. It's kind of known as beanbag, where you settle. You kind of spread into the feet, almost like you're about to sit on a beanbag. And then take that masculine pelvic tilt. I tend to quite like lifting that left leg first, and then seeing if I can reach the heel towards the bottom. Allowing that leg, the knee to lengthen in line with the hip. Once I'm there, I can bring the right thumb and first finger together, and that is my full position. If you lose your drishti point, like I just did, that's when you're likely to drop. Of course, if you can't reach for the heel, you could always use a bell or a scarf just to help you. And then from there, ease back. So again, I always suggest that sort of bean bag where you settle in, spread into your feet. Take the weight this time into the left leg, little bit of masculine pelvic tilt, lift the right knee, and then pop yourself into the lovely quad stretch. And notice I've still got a little bit of softness in that standing leg. I'm not locking my knee out because that will move my hips out of line. I think you can see that with my t-shirt. If I'm softening into my knee, my hips are level, my pelvis is level. I'm going to use the first finger and thumb of my left hand. And there is quite a nice variation on this position. You could put your right foot onto a chair. That's quite a nice variation of this dancer position. So this back foot would just be resting on the seat of a chair. Well done. Ease out. Release the leg. Okay, you're probably going to need a little bit of freedom in the hips now. Whew. And in the opposite direction. So from here, we're going to ease it back to the floor. So again, that lovely Tadasana position, clasping the hands behind the head this time. And as you exhale, draw the elbows into the midline and slowly start to peel down, keeping those knees soft. Peeling, 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 all the way. Now, if you look for a challenge, roll onto the balls of your feet. Now, obviously, if you've got bad knees, this might not be the best thing to do. But you might find that you can balance on the balls of your feet in this squat. Again, you could have the hands to the floor, or you could bring the hands into the chest. Take a couple of breaths. Nice. And then from there, we're going to sort of tackle the issue of coming back into sitting. So safely, maybe ease your bottom down to the floor, taking your arms behind you. And I just want us to finish on this lovely twist. So we're in this 10 to 2 position. We've done it lots of times. We're going to really map into the feet. We're going to push off of the big toe of the right foot, the little toe of the left foot, and we're going to take that lovely rotation around to the left. And then we're going to roll back on the inhale, push off on the exhale and rotate to the right. One more time, each side, push off, not literally. Now I've got a little add-on that you might or might not want to do. So as I move to the left, what I'm going to try and do is lift myself into kind of like a high kneeling. So I'm going to extend forward and up. Yay! So it's like a high kneeling with the legs in a slightly odd position. And then you're going to release back down. You're going to take the turn all the way to the right. And then that thing of pushing down to come up. Lifting up. Perfect. And then releasing down. Woo! Well done. Easing the legs back to center. Slide yourself back into semi-supine. This is the position we began with. So take a few seconds just to allow the back to settle. Allow the breath to balance itself. And I'm hoping that as we finish with the position we began with, you are going to say, actually, Jules, I know that I've released something in my hips, in my body, because we're going to finish as we began. So keeping the right foot nice and grounded, roll onto the little toe side of the left foot. Bear in mind, you've got to keep this right hip at the same level as the left hip. Just notice the support, notice the release. Might not necessarily be hugely different, but you probably find it's much softer. And of course, you can have the brick anywhere you want. You don't have to have it at the outside of the knee. You can slide it closer to the hip. And then I thought what we do is mirror the left leg with the right. So bring the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Press the feet in and just see how it feels to move into the full variation. So you're supporting your left leg, but you're still using those feet as the connection to the earth. And then once you've had a few moments in that, slide the left knee towards the sky, bring the brick around to the right to support the right leg. Again, try and keep this pelvis level, try and keep this connection with the earth. And as far as balance is concerned, your feet are really important. So once you've spent a few moments with that, bring the feet together. Let both legs up to the side. Really feel that connection, that spreading of the feet together. Lovely. Just because it's a really nice thing to do. Lift the feet, slide the knees into the armpits, or maybe take happy baby. So any of those variations, just to release into the lower back. Well done. And we're going to move into a lovely relaxation tonight. The warm weather prompts me to think we want to do some decent relaxation. So if you need to put warm clothes on, please do. Find yourself your comfy position for relaxation. So whether that's Shavasana, semi-supine, or any other position. You're going to be there for just over 10 minutes, so make it as comfortable as you can. As you find that position of release, Just imagine you are lying on a beautiful sandy beach. You're aware of the imprint of your head in the sand. Opening the arms to release the back of the shoulders, the left and right sides of the spine, and of course into the pelvis. Perhaps allowing yourself a couple of deep sighing breaths. Breathing in through the nose and then sighing the breath out through the mouth. So as you lay in this beautiful sandy beach, you are surrounded by blue skies, a gentle breeze, and all around you the sand dunes are high, hiding the seashore. You notice a path that meanders in and out. Up and down the path goes until you come to a clearing. From here, you can hear the sea. The tide is out, but you can hear the gentle flow of the waves. The sand around you is clean and golden in the sunshine. The beach is empty. Allow the breath just to flow in and out through the nostrils. And then you allow your fingers to glide through the coarse sand until you sense all around you this feeling of release. A lone seagull hovers overhead. And you notice that you are breathing alongside the steady sound of the waves. This regular movement of the waves brings a steady rhythm to your breath. And you find yourself drifting, melting. And you let go and surrender. You are so relaxed that you drift into a dream. In this dream, you can run, dance, and skip. You are full of energy and free from pain. In your dream, you are at the water's edge. Your bare feet are in the water, and you allow your ankles and legs to be bathed. You stroll along the water's edge, feeling carefree. No one is here to watch you, and you decide to skip along the water's edge, jumping over a small wave. You smile and giggle, and that eventually turns into laughter. How long ago it was since you felt like this, since you felt free. How easy it feels to just be. Dancing along the shore now in your dream, you dare the waves to brush your knees. The sand is soft beneath your feet. Connecting to the ocean, you feel the energy and the laughter awaken your inner childlike innocence. And you celebrate the fact that you are alive and well. How well you feel. No aches or pains. No fatigue. Just a warm glow of happiness sweeping over you like a wave. Allow yourself to immerse into that warm glow of happiness. A gentle breeze awakens you, and you gently think about some movement, still feeling the imprint of your body into the sand. Just slowly roll your head from side to side. And you breathe out the neck. Slide the head back in line, thinking about that length at the back of the throat. And then just begin to move the fingers and the toes, maybe the wrists and the ankles. And then from there, if you're still with me, ease yourself into a lovely full body stretch. Bringing those arms overhead, lengthening out with the legs. Stretching, extending. And as you release the arms, bring the feet back to semi-supine. One at a time, sliding the knees into the chest. Maybe taking a little rock from side to side or drawing some circles in the air with the knees. And then eventually just easing yourself into the fetal position. Maybe just roll onto your right side. And then press yourself up into sitting. any seated position. Just thinking about lengthening through the back of the neck. Think about that magic golden thread from the crown of the head. Just spend a few seconds just connecting, grounding back to your mat. And to gently peel open the eyes. Roll the arms around you, gathering that energy, gazing up to the thumbs. And as you exhale, slide the thumbs to the third eye, right thoughts. Seal the practice to the lips and the throat, right words. And to the heart, right intentions. Namaste.